Happy Monday. Today is President's Day, so a lot of people do have work off, but I don't. So guess what? I'm in the car again, driving for work. Yeah, I thought I would take this opportunity to talk about what I do when I drive a lot. It used to be that I listened to a lot of music, but I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of work my mind and become more knowledge and cultured and things like that. So I started listening to podcasts. So I'm going to just talk about some of my favorite podcasts. The first one is called The Daily by the New York Times. It basically covers like news, like a topic for a day, and then it really delves into it. They bring on like guest speakers or like cover history about that topic. Another podcast that I've been listening to is This American Life, and it basically covers stories about American people and like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's kind of like always a different topic, but I just like the guy who speaks. It's from, I think, Chicago Public Radio. Just the way he speaks and the way they go through stories is so interesting, and it stimulates your mind. I've also been listening to Modern Love, and it basically covers modern love stories, whether it's about like actual like relationships, friendships, or love between like siblings or parents and things like that. A podcast that I really enjoyed, but now it's done, is S-Town. It's like something that came out of Serial. So I did listen to Serial season 1 and 2, which were amazing, and then I listened to S-Town, which is Shittown, and I loved all those. I'm really sad that it's over. Then I listened to Dirty John. Dirty John is like the first thing that got me into podcasts. My boyfriend recommended it to me, and Dirty John is basically about a psychopath that was actually here in Orange County, and I live in Orange County, so it was really interesting. Like, I know like these places they're talking about where like events transpired and things like that. So I don't know, some people it might freak them out. Murder and like forensic analysis and things like that is kind of my thing, so I listen to podcasts that are related to it. I'm also open to suggestions for podcasts. I am kind of open to all sorts of things. Like, there's not just like one topic that I'm interested in. I like topics that will get me thinking a little bit about what I would do in that situation or how my response would be, because I'm driving so much. I don't want to get tired and things like that, so it's kind of like to keep my mind going. Surprise, surprise, I'm driving again for work. After I talked about the whole thing about listening to podcasts, I was like, oh, why don't I just go and try to look for like trending or like top trending podcasts. And I've come across Armchair Expert by Dax Shepard, and then he did an interview with his wife, Kristen Bell. And that is where this week's topic is basically the idea is coming from. The topic is self-esteem. I guess like my first tip is doing things that increase your self-esteem. Whether it be exercising, like you feel good after you exercise, or you feel good after you shower, or you feel good after you sleep, or whatever. Do things that make you feel better. So some of the things for me is I do feel a lot better after I work out. I also feel a lot better after I put on makeup, or if I wake up like in a weird funk, stretching, meditation, yoga. But these are things you can do for yourself to increase your self-esteem for that day. I think everyone should do that, be proactive in their life, to do things that will help them increase their self-esteem and to feel better about themselves, rather than relying on other people to tell you things that will increase your self-esteem. Actively do things that allow you to increase your self-esteem on your own. And that way, anytime you're in a weird funk or feeling down, you can do those things, because you can't rely on other people. No one is going to always be there for you except yourself. That is probably the number one advice that I'd like to talk about in this week's vlog, in increasing your self-esteem and having better self-esteem about yourself. Hi, running errands and shopping with my friend. She wants to be known as my friend.
I will be charged $10.
$10 for Uber only. To anywhere?
Just in 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes the max.
10 to 20 minutes max. Call her. What are you doing?
I can't even see. I can see you.
Can you drive like that?
Yeah, I can see.
You're so weird.
Everything wanted to know. Our crazy hearts beat as they walk on and on.
I went inside Sephora for a little bit and look what I come out to. Ma. Hi, it's Thursday and I'm driving again, but not for work this time. This time I'm driving to meet one of my friends for lunch. So continuing with the topic of self-esteem, I talk about something that I do every day that helps boost my self-esteem, and it's like, I guess, tip number 2 that I'd like to talk about. And full disclaimer before I start getting into it, people may think, wow, this tip is so narcissistic, or who actually does this? It's so weird. But you'd actually be very surprised how well it works, and if you try it, how good it's going to make you feel. The reason I came up with this is basically because I feel like in this day and age, when people look in the mirror, they see something they don't like about themselves, or they see their imperfection or flaws. So to kind of counteract that, what I do every time I look in the mirror is tell myself, not out loud because you don't want to seem like a crazy person in the public bathroom. Anyways, every time I look in the mirror, instead of going directly to what I don't like about myself or like an imperfection or something like that, I look at myself and about my aesthetics, give myself a compliment. So I'll look in the mirror and be like, your teeth are super white today, your curls are on point, your double eyelids are symmetrical. Just something very little that kind of can make you feel a little bit better about yourself and put a smile on your face. I think it's super easy to look in a mirror and find the things that you don't like about yourself and your imperfections, and it takes work and a lot of mental training to get to the point where you can look in the mirror and spot something that aesthetically you do like about yourself, and then go ahead and give yourself a compliment. I think you shouldn't fetch for compliments from other people when you can just give it to yourself. So try that out. Let me know how it goes. It's much better than getting compliments from other people, because you can compliment yourself whenever and all the time. You don't have to wait around for someone else to give it to you.
When we together, we're so happy. How could we make this day?
Happy Saturday! I'm driving again for work. I thought I'd come on and talk about self-esteem again. But this time I'm going to talk about self-esteem after you get out of a relationship, or basically after a breakup, because I've noticed that not just myself but a lot of my friends, you lose a little bit of self-esteem after a relationship. Whether even if you're the one that ended it or you're the one that got dumped, your self-esteem just drops a little bit or a lot of it for some people. And it's really important to recognize that the relationship ending could happen for so many different reasons. But bottom line, don't blame yourself. It's not because you're not pretty enough, not sexy enough, not, doing this, doing that, whatever. But it ultimately comes down to you and that person were just not meant to be together. So don't ever think that it has anything to do with yourself. If anything, blame the other person. Be like, I am a superstar, I am a queen, and that person is so unfortunate to lose out on someone as great as me, but unfortunately they just don't meet up to my par. That's how you need to change your mindset so that your self-esteem can remain the same after a breakup, or even increase after a breakup, So yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about as kind of like tip number 3. I don't even know if it's really a tip, it's just the way that I like to go about life post-breakup. but I haven't been post-breakup in a really, really long time, but that's what I used to tell myself. So yeah, hope that helps. And anyways, today I am working, but before that, I'm going to pick up some lunch at this place called Lemonade. And then after that, it's just work. And then I'm getting dinner with a friend. So yeah, it'll be a good day. Do you ever just look at the restaurant name and wonder who comes up with this? Pleasure Ocean Restaurant. Pleasure Ocean. Who came up with this?
If we had one single day, what would you say about this? What if we're not so far away? Just
Hi, I just thought I'd do the wrap up in the car because I'm driving for work right now. I just finished eating dim sum and grabbing boba with my friends, and now I'm headed back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's topic on self-esteem. If you haven't watched my vlog number 2, which was on self-confidence, please check that out. I'll link it in the description box below, and then put a card somewhere if I can figure out how to do it. And pretty much my idea on like self-confidence and self-esteem are kind of intertwined. And then I wanted to do more and diversify my channel a little bit. I'll still be uploading vlogs on Sundays, but I wanted to upload some other content on Thursdays. This Thursday I uploaded the spicy ramen challenge, and that was pretty fun, but I kind of died. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave that in the description box below or in the cards above if I can figure it out. Yeah, besides that, thanks for watching and see you next week. Bye!